Yes, beta. Good morning. Good morning, beta. Good morning. Dev Sharma. Good morning, beta. So, what is the pattern in the question? That there will be almost 33 questions in the question paper. 33 questions. Question number 1 to 16. That is 1 mark. And question number 17 to 25, 2 marks. That is like descriptive questions, like one sentence, few sentence you can mention, 2 marks question. And question number 26 to 30, short questions, 3 marks. There may be 3 bits in 3 marks question and 2 bits in 2 marks question. And question number 31 to 33, these are the 3 questions of 5 marks. So while answering for 16 question, it is a MCQ type. You have to decide the correct answer, and you have to write question number what is given in the paper and its correct option D or A. If correct, write down A. Don't mention what is the A part, what is the answer of the written in A. Simply A is enough. If answer is B, first question answer is B, simply you have to write question number 1, answer B. B only you have to write. Don't repeat the answer mentioned in the B. And question number, suppose C part is correct, mention only 1C. That's all. No need to mention the description given in C. That is the correct way to answer the MCQ questions. Only question number, correct question number which is given in the question paper and its correct option. If A is correct option, mention A only. That is the MCQ question. And section B, that is 1 mark question. If it is 2 division in that question, particular question, 2 parts, then answer accordingly. 2 marks, there should be few lines, 2 lines maximum in 1 bit. So according to question you have to answer. Don't write too much. It is not needed everywhere. In 3 marks question, there may be 3 bits. There also you have to manage the word limit. Take care of word limit. Accordingly you have to manage. And if it is 1 question only in 3 marks, then you have to write a paragraph about that answer. Be systematic, be to the point. Don't write too much in the answer. And 5 marks question, sometime there may be 5 bits. Reasoning questions may be there from inorganic and organic. Some reasoning questions are there. So write the correct reason, straightforward. Don't write too much. It is the wastage of time. You have to spend your time in calculation of the numericals. So that's why you need not to give much time for the particular question. Be particular. What is the answer asked in the question? Answer that one only. Don't write in detail. And there may be organic question, chemistry also, 5 marks, and there will be question framed in such a way that there may be 5 bits in the same question, 1 question and 5 parts. So any part if you are attempting and that is correct, not it may not be first part, it may be the second or third part, whatever part is there. If any part is correct, you will be awarded marks for that. Okay, beta. So you need not to worry about that. Whatever part you are you are well known, that part you have to answer. And there is a question like how to distinguish the following pair of compounds in organic chemistry. There will be one question, maybe of 2 marks, maybe of 3 marks. A pair of organic compounds may be given, like how to distinguish ethanol and methanol. Methanol is CH3OH and ethanol is C2H5OH. I'm taking a question. How to distinguish? A very common question. It will be 2 marks. Then you have to spend maximum 2 minutes not more than that. It is not needed. If 3 bits are there, 3 marks, then 3 minutes needed, maximum 4 minutes. So don't give much time. Like how to distinguish. The first pair is methanol and ethanol. This is one example. An example for that. Don't mention the formula. Methanol is CH3OH, ethanol is CTH5OH. This is not the answer. Take care. You have to give some chemical test which can be seen, which can be performed in the lab. And by seeing the change, we can say that this is methanol, this is ethanol. Okay, beta? So, for distinction of alcohols, one test is a Lucas test. If a degree of alcohol are different, we can go for Lucas test. And another very common example, common distinction test is iodoform test. This is very much effective for alcohol, aldehyde, and ketones. If 3 compounds are given, if the compounds are given from these 3 categories, either from alcohol or from aldehyde or from ketone, you can go for iodoform test. This is one of the very important tests, iodoform test. Two tests are there. One is iodoform test, another is Lucas test. Lucas test. This Lucas test is used to distinguish degree of alcohols. If alcohols given having 2 different degrees, like 1 degree, 2 degree, and 3 degree. Degree of alcohols are different, we can go for that. Here in this particular example, methanol and ethanol degree is same. Methanol is CH3OH. This carbon is 1 degree where OH present. That's why this is the 1 degree alcohol, primary alcohol. And this one CH3, CH2, OH. The carbon where OH present is 1 degree carbon. It is connected with 1 carbon only. This is also 1 degree alcohol. The Lucas test cannot be applied for this. Okay, beta? Then we can go for this iodoform test. Iodoform test is the test where we use iodine and sodium hydroxide. The given compound taken in a test tube. Here is the test tube. The organic compound is taken. A sample is taken from this tube, and it is added with the iodine I2 and NaOH, sodium hydroxide. And we are going to get yellow precipitate of iodoform. The iodoform is CHI3. It is the solid compound and it is yellow in color. So what is the restriction for that? Which alcohol will give iodoform test, which will not? Here alcohol having 1 CH3 to the alpha carbon. This carbon is called alpha carbon. This is alpha methyl alcohol. Alpha methyl alcohol. Alcohols having alpha methyl carbon that is going to combine with iodine and sodium hydroxide to form iodoform. Okay, beta, let me take one thing, that is your attendance part, then I will continue that. This is the time to take attendance. Okay, roll number 5 is here, 12th A, roll number 5, roll number 10, 11, 12, 14, 17, 25, 28, 43. Utkarsh. Okay, beta. From 11th B, 12th B, sorry. 12th B, roll number 4, 4. Yes, beta. Your roll number is reflecting on the screen. I'm seeing from the screen. 12, 24, 27, 39, 41, 45. These many students are present. And बच्चों अगर कोई difficulty है then you can raise your queries. You can ask your queries. I will try to answer that queries. Okay, better. So here is the compound, organic compound is mixed with NaOH and I2. It is heated on water bath. That is not necessary to mention. If the alcohol having alpha methyl, this methyl group is going to involve in this reaction, and this is converted into CHI3. So this compound means ethanol will give iodoform test, while methanol does not, because ethyl alcohol has alpha methyl group. This is the answer. You need not to mention the chemical reaction also. If you are well known, you can write. Otherwise, you don't write that. What is the answer of this question? Final wording. Ethanol gives iodoform test. It forms iodoform, yellow color iodoform on combining with I2 and NaOH, whereas methanol does not. This is the answer. Reason you can mention, this is because ethyl alcohol contains alpha methyl group. This much you have to write, means 2 lines is needed. Don't go beyond that. Don't write the chemical equation. Okay, beta. One more example. This iodoform test, if a compound is alcohol, aldehyde, ketone, first think about, can I apply iodoform test to distinguish? It is that much important. And sometimes they are asking short notes on this. What is iodoform test? What is Lucas test? Lucas test is based on degree of carbon. If it is 1 degree, the reaction will be slow. If it is 2 degree, the reaction is moderate. And if it is 3 degree, that having 3 alkyl groups at the alpha carbon, the reaction will be faster. It is based on that part. Okay. Another example in the same manner, I can take here another compound is propanol, 1 propanol and 2 propanol. You can write the formula to clarify whether it is applicable iodoform test or not. Degree is different. Like here, 1 propanol, CH3, CH2, CH2, OH. This is the 1 degree carbon, and here OH present. This is the first carbon also where OH present. That's why it is 1 propanol, propane 1-ol, propanol 1. Anyway, it can be written. And 2 propanol is CH3, CH. Here is OH, and here is CH3. This is 2 degree carbon, and this is the second carbon also in the numbering system. That's why it is 2 propanol, or propane 2-ol, or propanol 2. Anyway, it can be written. The degree is different. We can apply Lucas test. And another thing, the carbon where OH present, it has CH3 group, methyl group. It will perform iodoform test. It combines with I2 and NaOH to form yellow precipitate of iodoform CHI3. That can be seen while doing that experiment. That's why we can answer 2 propanol will give iodoform test because it has alpha methyl. It has 1 alpha methyl group, maybe more than 1, but at least 1 methyl should be there. It has alpha methyl group, whereas 1 propanol does not. That is the answer. Lucas test we can also give. The time needed for the reaction, that is the cloudiness in Lucas test, is different. This will take 2 to 5 minutes, or this will take it won't combine at room temperature. It combines on heating. It gives the test on heating. That's the chemistry behind Lucas test. Okay, beta. So this is the distinction test. One question will be from that distinction test, how to distinguish the pair of compounds. Another question from organic, it will be write notes on the following chemical reaction. Name reaction will be there. While writing notes on name reaction, write some lines about that. Many of you are writing directly the reaction. Instead of reaction, please mention some lines about that. And if you are knowing the chemical reaction, it is very clear, very easy to write about the wording of that reaction. Okay, beta? So while short note is to be written on name reaction, write 2-3 lines about that. This is going to combine to form this compound. And condition, whatever condition is there, that can be written in words. After that, you can write the chemical reaction. Chemical reaction is must while writing notes on name reaction. Okay. In conversions, like how to convert, one conversion I can take. How to convert this CH3 CH2OH ethanol into methanol? This is the question. CH3OH ethanol into methanol, or we can go in reverse way also. So what to do? First, read the question, write the formula in this way. This is the ethanol and this is the methanol. Then you will get some idea what to do in this conversion. Write the question in form of equation and think about what are possibilities for this. So here we are going to decrease the carbon atom. Stepping down series we have studied in the amines, carbyl amine test. There we can reduce the carbon atom. Then what to do? What is the answer? And carbyl amine test, we have to get a amino group in that. Then only we can go for the carbyl amine test. So what is that? This is to be converted into amide. And amide is a derivative of carboxylic acid. So this alcohol should be converted into carboxylic acid, carboxylic acid into amide, amide into amine, amine into alcohol. These are the steps. How to convert into carboxylic acid? Alcohol can be easily converted into carboxylic acid by oxidation. Normal oxidizing agents like KMnO4H positive, K2Cr2O7H positive, chromic acid, chromic oxides, these are the normal. Simply we can mention here oxidation. We can also mention the condition like KMnO4H positive, or simply this oxidation is enough. This is going to change into first aldehyde and finally carboxylic. We can directly write carboxylic. Carboxylic means that contain two carbon atoms. Carboxylic acid containing two carbon atoms. Here it is CH3COOH. This is the carboxylic acid. This is the one step. Second, we are going to convert into amide. Amide is, here it is going to combine, that step you have to remember. For conversion alcohol into carboxylic, this is the oxidation process. This time you will feel some difficulty. Certainly you will feel difficulty while attempting the conversions. But after writing 2-3 exams and revision, it will be very easy to you. So don't afraid about conversion. Conversion make us perfect in organic chemistry. So here to convert into amide, this is going to combine with ammonia, NH3. When an acid combined with ammonia, we get a salt, ammonium salt, ammonium acetate. And that second condition is heating is required. When ammonium acetate is heated, it is going to convert into amide. Then the product will be 2 carbon amide, CH3CO NH2. At this stage, we can reduce this carbon by Huffman bromide reaction. Here is we are going to heat with Br2 and KOH. KOH alcoholic KOH. This CO comes out in the form of potassium carbonate, and then we are going to get CH3NH2 amine. This amine having one carbon less as compared to the starting compound, and then this can be converted into this alcohol by combining with HONO, nitrous acid, HONO. Like that is the diazotization. Diazotization of aromatic amine will get diazonium salt, while diazotization of aliphatic amine we get alcohol. This HONO is the diazotization of this. It is going to form intermediate, that is diazonium compound, but that is unstable and going to break into the alcohol. So in this way we can convert. This is the way of attempting conversion. The purpose of this example, how to attempt conversion reaction, conversion process. Words will be given. Convert this word into formula. Ethanol into methanol is the question. Write the formula of ethanol and methanol side by side with an arrow and think about what to be done here. We are going to reduce a carbon atom in this process, and this carbon atom can be reduced by this reaction. Okay, beta? So what is the step? We have to get amide while reducing the number of carbon atoms. And amide is a derivative of carboxylic acid. So this starting compound first is to be converted into carboxylic acid, corresponding carboxylic acid. Carbon atoms will be same. Then this carboxylic acid into amide. This step we have to remember. This is the conversion of carboxylic acid into its derivative amide. Heating with ammonia, then this is going to change into amide. Here this CO can be reduced, can be removed, and by this process we are going to get amine into alcohol. It is 1 degree. Aliphatic amine, it is going to convert into alcohol on combining with nitrous acid. And the source of nitrous acid is NaNO2 and HCl at low temperature. So see here. Here I have mentioned only oxidation, and here only HONO, not complete condition what is needed in that. So that is enough for the conversion. So conversion may be 1-step conversion, 2 steps conversion, 3 steps conversion. You have to do accordingly. Detect deleted topics. हाँ बेटा वर्षा क्या कह रहे हो आप? Questions from deleted topics won't come. Yes, beta, they won't come. We have taken care, complete care, but there may be some problem somewhere. But we have taken all the cares. There should not be any question from the deleted portion. Okay, beta. Deleted portion like in Unit 1 semiconductors. We have studied in physics. I've seen that physics is having semiconductors. In chemistry, this year it is not. It is deleted. So questions from semiconductors, they won't come in the exam, in this exam. And by chance, if it is there, any question is related with the semiconductors there, you may answer because you have studied in the physics. But we have tried our level best. There should not be any such questions which is deleted from the syllabus. Okay, beta? So this is the way of attending. How to write the IUPAC name? IUPAC name will be 3 marks, 2 marks from organic and 1 mark from coordination compound. Organic IUPAC name. For organic compound, you should remember we have discussed in 11th class, here 12th class, in all the chapters. IUPAC name once again. First, we have to think about what are the various parts of this organic compound. The organic compound having prefix. While naming organic compound, please find out what is the prefix. Maybe more than one prefix in this compound. So we should know about this prefix. After that, word root. Word root is decided on the basis of number of carbon atoms in the chain. Then primary suffix and finally secondary suffix. These are the four parts of the IUPAC name of organic compounds. There may not be all four parts. There may be three parts. There may be two parts. There may be all four parts. First, we have to decide prefix in the organic compound. Like I am writing one compound here. Here is OH and here is CHO. CHO. This compound having two functional group at a time. Here is Cl. 3. One more. Then CH3. Here 3 bonds. One more bond is needed. CH. Here 3 bonds. There should be 4 bonds around carbon. Accordingly, we can decide the hydrogen. There are 3 functional groups in the compound. Then preference we have to give. We have to prefer a particular organic compound functional group. And preference is given to the aldehyde. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Numbering is like that. This CHO should be preferred. It is a reactive. It is more reactive than other. So this is the first carbon, second carbon, third carbon. This OH is now becomes prefix. Cl always prefix. Halogens are used as prefix only. Cl always prefix, and here OH also becomes prefix. It is a secondary functional group. Okay, beta. Then what is the answer? This is chloro and this is hydrox. Yes. Chlorohydroxy. See about that. It is not alcohol. It is not all now. It is hydroxy. And try to prefer alphabetical sequence. C comes first. If you are not preferring, you are not opting the alphabetical preference, there is no harm. Okay. So here C comes first. That's why we should write 3-chloro. This is the one prefix. Okay. Then another is OH also as a prefix. 2-hydroxy. 2-hydroxy. These are the two prefixes. This part. Then word root, number of carbon atoms in the longest chain. 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon in the chain. Bute. Bute. Carbon single bond everywhere. That's why primary suffix is "-ene". This is the prefix. This is the primary suffix. This is the word root, and this is the primary suffix "-ene", single bond, "-ene", "-ene", "-ine". Primary suffix decide the carbon-carbon bonds. If it is single bond only, then "-ene". Anywhere double bond, you have to locate its position, and "-ene", triple bond, "-ine", along with the proper location. "-ene", and for aldehyde we write "-al". Butanal, butanal. This is the IUPAC name of this compound. All 4 parts are available in this compound. This is the way to decide in your notebook, and then give the numbering, select the prefix if it is there, and try to manage the IUPAC name. Okay, beta. This is the way to attempt the IUPAC name. Write the IUPAC name of the compound. If IUPAC name is given, you are going to write the formula. Then accordingly decide the word root. What is the word root is there? How many carbon atoms is there? Write the carbon skeleton. Like if this name is given to you, how to write its formula? Then we have to see what is the word root. Word root is butane. So we have to write 4 carbon atoms in the chain. It is but. From word root we have to start while writing the formula. Then okay, but is over. Then come to the main first one, 3-chloro. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3-chloro, 3-chloro here. 2-hydroxy, 2-hydroxy OH. Okay. Then butane is there 4 carbon, and al. Al means the first carbon is in the form of CHO. This is the formula. And okay, this part is not visible to you. Here it is. 3-chloro, 2-hydroxy, and butanal. And finally, attach hydrogen. Hydrogen as per the need. Here is 1 bond, 3 more bonds needed. That's why CH3. H can be written any side. No problem. Three bonds are here. That's why one more hydrogen needed. Here also one more hydrogen. One hydrogen is needed. This is the writing of formula of the organic compound. This is about organic compound. IUPAC name of organic compound. IUPAC name of coordination compound. How to write the IUPAC name of coordination compound? Coordination compound like K3. I am taking very simple example. K3FeCN6. This is a coordination compound. What is the system? What is the pattern of that? First, we have to write cation. Cation without reflecting its number. Cation. After that, ligands. Cation plus ligands. Ligands. If more than one ligand, we have to select them according to the alphabetical order. If here is CN there and H3 is also there and some more ligands are there, then we have to select the alphabetical sequence of the ligands. And if it is not followed, there is no harm. But take care, please take care. It should be as per the alphabetical sequence. So here cation, then ligands, then central metal. Central metal. It may be in the form of atom, it may be in the form of ion. Central metal atom or central metal ion. Central metal atom oblique ion. It may be atom or ion. Then it's oxidation state. Oxidation state. And then cation. Sorry, anion. This is the sequence, just like organic compound. Here also sequence. Cation, if available there, then ligands as per the alphabetical order, more than one ligand, alphabetical order, then central metal we have to write, and then oxidation state of the central metal, then finally anion. There is cation present. So we have to write first potassium. Is the cation tripotassium? It is not needed. Like inorganic compound, calcium chloride, CaCl2, sodium carbonate, Na2CO3. We don't write disodium like that. So here potassium 3, but we simply write potassium. 3 is coming to balance the charges over that. Potassium, then ligands. Ligand is only one, that is cyanide, hexacyano. Hexacyano for the CN. Then central metal is a hexa means 6 CN, that's why hexacyano, and central metal is iron. It is right. Ferrate because it is a cation. Yes, beta. Hexacyanoferrate. It is an anionic complex. What is the meaning of anionic complex? Cationic complex, anionic complex, and neutral complex. It is a cation is outside. That's why the charge over this complex is negative. That's why it is called anionic complex. Cation outside, this the charge is negative. It is the anionic part. This is the cation and this is the anionic part. So this is the anionic complex, and here we have to write ATE along metal. Ferrate, hexacyanoferrate. Please take care about ATE because the complex is anionic. If it is cationic complex, it is not needed. If it is neutral complex, it is not needed. Ferrate, and then its oxidation state. How to decide oxidation state? Oxidation state here, potassium 3, each potassium plus 1, 3 potassium plus 3. Cn is negative ligand, minus 1 charge. 6Cn minus 6, and overall charge should be 0. That's why the iron contribution is plus 3. Here is ferrate third. This is the name. Potassium hexacyanoferrate third. This is the complete IUPAC name. and there should not be any gap. Especially there may be some gap because it is the outside the bracket. Here may be some gap, but whatever inside the bracket, that is treated as one word. And if it is not done, no harm. But this is the way. Sometimes we are unable to read it. What is written here? If there are so many ligands, more than 2 ligands, then it is difficult to read it. Don't worry about that. Whatever things inside the coordination sphere, it should be treated as one word. That's why this is the name of the compound. Okay, beta? While writing formula on the basis of name, suppose name is given and you are going to write the formula in MCQ test, it may be given. Name of the compound is given, correct formula of the compound is like this, 4 options may be there. Then how to write? I am writing the formula of the same compound if name is given. Then potassium. Potassium means it is anionic complex because cation is outside. K, first we have to write K. Then hexacyanoferrate. Ferrate is the central metal. We have to write the central metal first. Fe. Hexacyano. Hexacyano means CN6. Square bracket close. We have to decide the number of potassium as per the need. Actually, the Cn is ferrate third. Fe in the form of 3 positive. Cn is in the form of 6 minus. 3 positive, 6 minus. Overall charge is means there should be 3 positive outside which can balance this complex. That's why K3. Potassium is monovalent. K positive. K3. FeCN6. This is the formula. We are writing the formula. Okay, beta? One more complex I am writing. Here is CO, NH3, 6, Cl3. Just opposite. Here, anion outside. The complex is cationic because negative ion outside. Then charge over this complex is positive. That's why complex is cationic complex. Then how to write its name? The name is, there is no cation. That's why we have to hexacyano. Hexacyano 6. Oh, sorry, hexaamine, not cyano. Ammonia is there. Hexaamine. Hexaamine. Then central metal, cobalt. There is no 8. Cobalt 8. Yes, beta. Hexaamine, cobalt. It is correct one. Hexaamine, cobalt. Then oxidation state. Cl is -1, 3Cl -3. Ammonia is neutral ligand, no charge over here. And 3 minus here, there should be 3 positive. That's why cobalt oxidation state is +3. Hexaamine, cobalt, third. There should not be cobaltate. It is cationic. Cationic complex is not written as 8 here, along with the central metal. Hexaamine, cobalt, third, and the Cl is chloride. Chloride. This is the way to write the formula. Name of the complex in this way. Okay, beta? And if formula is given, name is given, how to write its formula? Then the way is, there is no cation. That's why we have to start with this bracket. Then central metal, cobalt. Cobalt is CO. Then hexaamine. Hexaamine means NH3, 6. No any other ligand. Then chloride. Chloride means Cl. We have to decide number of Cl as per the need. It is written cobalt third. Oxidation state of cobalt is +3. Ammonia is neutral ligand. Then Cl, there is 3 positive charge. there should be 3 negative charge, otherwise overall some charge should be there, but it is not. Then here is Cl3. If it is written iron, hexaamine cobalt third ion. Ion means there may be positive charge, there may be negative charge. As per the oxidation state of the central metal and the charge over the ligand, we can decide what is the charge over that. If it is having some charge, then we have to mention ion. Hexaamine cobalt third ion, like this. If this compound is in this way, there is 3 positive charge over here because of what this cobalt oxidation state is +3. So here is 3 positive, cobalt oxidation state +3. Then it is written hexaamine cobalt third ion. Ion name is written in this way. Okay, beta. Some neutral complex like here Cr NH3 thrice Cl3. No charge, no cation, no anion in this complex. There is no overall charge. That's why it is new. Then what to do? First we have to write a ligand's name. Ligand is amine and chloride. A comes first. Triamine, then Cl trichlorido. It is negative complex, negative ligand. Chlorido, negative name is ended with O. Negative ligands, trichlorido. Triamine, trichlorido. Then chromium. It is not anionic, it is neutral. Then chromium and its oxidation state. Oxidation state is Cl is -3, 1 Cl -1, 3 Cl -3, and NH3 is neutral complex. And because of 3 negative here, chromium, its oxidation state is +3. Chromium third. This is the name of the neutral complex, chromium third. If formula is name is given, we have to mention the formula. Then how to mention? First we have to decide the chromium. Here is the chromium. Chromium means no cation. We have to start with chromium. Then triamine, NH3 thrice triamine. Then trichlorido, Cl3 and chromium third. Like this. No charge over here. This is another type of complex. I have taken anionic complex, then cationic complex, and now it is neutral complex. One more type of complex is also possible. That is looking like a double salt. Here is CO, NH3 6, Cr, CN6. This is the compound. Coordination isomerism. You have studied in coordination isomerism. While writing formula, take care about what is the coordination number of the central metal. Coordination number of the central metal 2 for silver. You can remember it. Silver coordination number 2. Then copper, zinc in most of the cases coordination number 4. Nickel also coordination number 4. Platinum also coordination number 4. Coordination number 6. Cobalt, chromium, iron. Their coordination number 6. Platinum and nickel, they also show coordination number 6. Somewhere 4, somewhere 6. In this way, you can manage the formula very correctly, very easily. So here the compound. See that this is the cationic part. This is the anionic part. How to decide? Cn is -6, Cr. Here is NH3 0. Overall negative ligand is negative charge is -6. in this complex. This is the one complex. That's why the positive charge over these metal ions here is plus 3 equal contribution, plus 3 plus 3. This is the charge over the central metal and ligands. Then decide the name. This complex is, this part is cationic. So here we have to start with the ligand hexaamine 6NH3 cobalt third. Okay, beta. Hexaamine cobalt third. Then again hexacyano. This is the anionic part. That's why it should be 8 along with the central metal. Chromate 8 should be here. It is the anionic part. This is the cationic part. It is chromate third. This is the name of the coordination compound. Okay, beta. While writing any inorganic compound, generally the sequence is we have to write cation first, then anion. Sodium chloride, calcium sulfate, calcium carbonate, like that. Here also the same fashion. This cationic part should be written first and then anionic part. We can say that if I write Cn remove Cn from here and write Cn here and NH3 there. So this pattern is not followed. Cation is not first, anion is written first. Okay, beta. So this type of precautions we have to take care. Sodium chloride, if it is written NaCl, that is the correct one. If it is written ClNa, it is looking odd. It is not incorrect, but looking odd. So here also we have to take that much type that care. Okay, beta. So this is the general concept. I have brought a question paper also to discuss about that some questions, but the time is near about over. So let me see some questions here. Okay, once again, let me check your presence. Varsha is available. Somil is also there. Varsha is here, 41 and 37. And in 12B also, 45. I'm taking your attendance here. Okay. So I have a sample paper. It is provided by examination department. A sample paper is here. Let me read some questions. Give reasons. I'm not taking the MCQ questions. It's directly from section B. While answering, section A, section B, the questions should be separate. Try in that way. Attempt question section A, then try to answer all the questions. If some questions are, I'm writing about the final exam. Here you can attempt anyway. In annual exam, while writing the answer, section A, all parts should be at one place. If any question is missing, you can attempt at the end. And section B, when you are starting, try to attempt all the questions. If any question is not known to you at that time, you are not finding the correct answer, you can leave some space for that and you can continue. Then section C, section D, like that. Section wise, you have to mention. When you are answering any question, mention the section also. Okay, here the question. Give reasons. It is the question number 17. methyl chloride hydrolyzed more easily than chlorobenzene? This is the one reasoning question. This type of reasoning questions will be given from inorganic, from organic. Okay, beta. Let me take one question. The question is, methyl chloride hydrolyzed more easily than chlorobenzene. Methyl chloride, write the formula CH3Cl, and another compound is chlorobenzene. Chlorobenzene, here is Cl. This is easily hydrolyzed. Hydrolyzed means it combined with water to form here OH. Cl is replaced by OH. That is the hydrolysis. In haloalkanes, the substitution reaction is there, nucleophilic substitution reaction. And this is going to change into CH3OH. Hydrolysis. Hydrolysis is done by aqueous alkali, aqueous NaOH, aqueous KOH. Is there its second reactant? And here, if it is hydrolyzed, it is going to change into phenol. Here it is. This reaction is easier as compared to this reaction. This is the question. What is the correct answer? What is the answer about that? That is related to the bond dissociation energy. What is the meaning? This carbon is, this is one reason, sp3 hybridized. This carbon is sp2 hybridized. Here 75%, S percentage is 25%. P% more, P orbital is larger as compared to S orbital. That's why this bond length is large. This bond dissociation energy is low. It needs less energy to break this bond. Whereas this bond dissociation energy is high due to less bond length, and this reaction is not easier. So what is the answer of that? Methyl chloride, due to sp3 hybridization in carbon atom, the carbon chlorine bond length is short. It has less bond dissociation energy. That's why it hydrolyzes easily. Okay, beta? This is the answer. Out of these two, you have to take any one to clarify the reason. You need not to explain the second also. Like in chlorobenzene, the carbon is sp2 hybridized, carbon Cl bond length, bond energy is high, bond dissociation energy high. It is not going to hydrolyze easily. It is not needed. Out of these two, one you have to take, any one you can take, and you have to explain it, why it is happening. Okay, beta? One more question. Why para-nitrochlorobenzene is more reactive than chlorobenzene? Okay, mention the question in the form of formula. Para-nitrochlorobenzene, here is chlorobenzene, here is NO2, and another is, here it is, like chlorobenzene. Chlorobenzene is Cl towards nucleophilic substitution reaction. What is the meaning of nucleophilic substitution? This Cl is gets substituted by another group. Here Cl is being substituted by another group. We have to see about the role of NO2 in this. That is the answer of this. This is more easily substituted during the reaction. Nucleophilic substitution is easier in this case as compared to this. Here we have to explain the role of NO2. NO2 is an electron withdrawing group. Yes, beta, it is electron withdrawing group, S-terminal. It has tendency to withdraw electron. It has multiple bond between nitrogen and oxygen. It is electron deficient. That's why it withdraw electron from the ring. Electron from Cl is more effectively in this case. Therefore, Cl gets charged and it can be easily replaced by the another group. Electron withdrawing group is there. NO2 attracts the electron from the benzene. That's why donation of electron pair from the chlorine towards benzene ring is more easier as compared to this benzene itself. That's why it is more reactive towards the nucleophilic substitution reactions. So thank you, beta. All the best to all of you. Do well.
Thank you, sir.
Try to attempt all the
Thank you,
questions.
sir.
Thank you, beta. Thank you, Divyanshi. Thank you, bachcho. Thank you all. And
Thank you, sir.
thank you, beta. Thank you, Dev. and do well, attempt all the questions, and don't write too much. It should be to the point only. Okay beta, all the best. Thank you beta, thank you.
सर मेरी प्रेजेंट लगा दी क्या आपने?
बिल्कुल लगा दी बेटा, बिल्कुल हमने आपकी प्रेजेंस लगा दी.
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर.
थैंक यू बेटा.